You mean your father was driving at his age? Certainly. I've always thought, said Henry, it's rather risky to go on driving after 70. Goodness me, what a bizarre idea. The head didn't learn until he was 75. He's a most remarkable driver. I can imagine that Henry was thinking about the portrait in the hall. If he had a fault behind the wheel, it was his reluctance to keep to the left. He considered it dangerous to drive too close to the curb, preferred to the middle of the road where he felt safer. After all, he frequently pointed out, as a taxpayer, the highway was his property. Fortunately, this was very point of view was where his greatest friend, old Arthur Pringle, who was the head solicitor on this occasion, apparently, two cars were approaching each other as they sped traveling the opposite directions. Neither driver would concede right of way to the other, and the vehicles met in a head on collision. A great tragedy. It's terrible. Pringle was killed outright and Head died a few hours later in the hospital. The bishop sighed. Ah, well, it's all a long time ago now. 15 years or more, I always say. At this point, the drawing room door opened and a girl came, and a tiny blonde girl who walked like a dancer, despite the face that wore a plain blue linen dress and no ornaments of any kind. Henry was reminded of the fairy doll on a Christmas tree. There was the same pink and white perfection, the same sparkle. "Ah, there you are, Maud," said the bishop approvingly. "Mr. Tibbet, my niece, Maud Mansfield. Here's one for you, Maud. Larry, lazy type, the policeman, you need help." "How many letters?" Maud asked without hesitation. "3." She wrinkled her small forehead. "Lazy type, sloth, AI, policeman, copper, D, 8. Am I right?" "Well done, capital," exclaimed the bishop. To Henry, he added, Can't catch this girl out. She's got the emancipable brain, all right. First class honors in..." "Oh, honestly, Uncle Edwin," protested Maud, "do you mind?" She smiled dazzlingly at Henry. "How do you do?" she said. "You must be John Adamson's detective from London." "Yes, I am," said Henry. "I suppose you want to talk to us all about Raymond Mason." "I'm afraid so, but later on. Thanks for the respite." The bishop, who had returned his crossword puzzle, looked up. "Where's your young man there, Maud?" "I wish I knew," Maud said. "I thought he might be here." "Probably down on the range or George." "Oh, I'd help. I'd better go rescue him. Convinced that Daddy will kill somebody one of these days." She stopped sadly, scarlet-faced. Then to Henry she said deliberately, "That was a joke. The shooting range is perfectly safe." "I'm glad to hear it," said Henry. "Anyway, I don't think that your father is there. I went to the garage just now." The door opened again, and Violet Mansfield looked in. She had put on the butler's apron. carried a wooden spoon. Has anybody seen George? She asked. Mr. Tibbet says he's in the garden, said Maud. We're shooting at tennis balls, Mrs. Mansell asked Henry. No, said Henry. He was up a tree. After little as 10 minutes in Craigswell Grange was exchanged, our remarks seemed quite normal to him. Oh, I am glad. Experimenting again, I suppose. I'll go and call him, said Mrs. Mansell withdrew. Maud looked at Henry with distinct amusement. Are you Irish by any chance, Mr. Tibbet? She asked. No, I'm a Londoner. I believe my family came from Cornwall originally. Ah, Celtic? That explains it. I explain what? They seem to understand what we're talking about. I wouldn't bank on that, said Henry. Afraid that we are rather strange, said Maud. At this, the bishop looked up from the newspaper. Strange? What do you mean, strange? All the Mansfields are mad. What utter rubbish, reported the bishop. Spirit. Now, that fellow Mason was definitely deranged. Should we have been locked up? Really, Henry was interested. What makes you say that, sir? Tell you, first time I met the man 2 years ago. Again, the door opened, cutting short the bishop's reminiscence. The man who came in was younger, either a major or the bishop, but his long face and angular jaw marked him unmistakably as a Mansfield. He wore a suit made of rough tweed, which might easily have been homespun. He was